Hello guys, it was a month since my last prediction. It was on the prediction for the 3rd February. Prediction was that we're gonna see a drop for the blue line here for the support, and then a final test for a new high, and then a drop because we break this low. This was a key sign that the sellers are here. And the prediction was we're gonna see a drop for the 574, and from since then we saw a second drop. So now, just by looking at it, the next target is the 546, 550. It touched the 550, but I think it's gonna touch the 546. We're gonna talk about it soon. So let's start first from the daily and see how it looks. From the daily, we see the break of the Wyckoff area. This is the area we see the last attempt and then the break. And from there, we can say that it's the start of probably a new move, of a third move, probably this way. And we break the 200. Which, if we look at it, see usually how the 200 looks from the, let's say, beginning of 23. It was positive. Even if the price moved below it here and here, it stayed positive. If we look at it here, of 22 drop, this was a drop that changed the narrative of the 200, and it started to be a little bit negative. And we're not there yet. We probably in this area, if we want to compare for the 2022 move, we're probably in here. So we need to watch it closely to see if we're gonna see a rise up, which we're probably gonna have, like here, and then move for the downside. If we look at it on the, let's go for the monthly and see how it looks. See it on how it touched again the key target we saw, and basically didn't do much for 4 months and then made a drop. It didn't touch a second key area. This is the 222 drop, which could be because if we gonna take, let's say, the Fibonacci level from here, you can see that by the Fibonacci level we can touch the 460, which is the 3820, and it's still a positive move, just a pullback. If it's gonna be a strong buyer pullback, we're gonna see a drop for the 520, and it's gonna still be a good pullback. If we take the extension and see where the price can go, by the extension you can see this is the 100 which it touched, and the second one is the 708 and 770. This is the end target by the Fibonacci extension. So it's basically, it's okay that it touched the 100 and made a pullback. It can push for the 500 here, and from there try to do the second push. It's okay. If we go for the weekly, just a second, let me see something here. You can see that there is a low volume there. So it could mean continuation, and even with a drop, the month just begins. So any drop for the downside, this is a negative. You see it here. Create any divergence. So it means in the long term continuation for the move for the upside, which is good. If we go for the weekly, See how at the weekly the 50 is very strong. It touched it and ended above it with a big volume. Unfortunately, we don't have divergence yet for the move for the upside. It didn't form and confirm yet. There is a small here divergence. This is a higher low, this is lower low, but we need more confirmation. Something like this. I want to see this confirmation going for this direction for the move for the upside. So from the weekly, it can do a little bit more push. We can see the buyer stepping in, which is good, but we could see another push or establishment of the sellers and then push for the upside to take all the short sellers out with a short squeeze. If we come back for the daily, so at the moment we are very bearishy, which is okay. There is no divergence in the short term. You can see lower low, lower low. It's the same, but we can see establishment of a big volume area. So I can see it try to push for the upside, but any move for the upside will create a short continuation. So what the buyers need to do, if they want to try to push for the upside, they will try to establish a price and then try to make a break, or maybe a fake break for the downside, enter more short sellers, and then try to push for the upside. If we look at it, you can see it here. This is a short continuation. This is already high, all of them lower, and this is a higher high, this is lower high. So there is a divergence between the price movement here and here. So we're probably gonna see maybe attempt to spike up and then we move here for more establishment of the price. What is good, the momentum start to be positive, which is nice, but there is no confirmation that we're gonna have a bull run to the new high of the price here, just another move for the upside. So a key area for retest is the 574 here. It broke it, retest, and now I think it will try to spike for the 546. Let me check it here. It touched the key area, so I think that it tried to push again for the 555, even for the 550 again. And if it break the 563, I think again if it will fall and break the 563 here, it will push for the downside for the final push. If it want to break some sort of divergence, it need to push for the 568, 570 here, and if it managed to break it, it will break this high. So the buyers are strong, maybe make a retest and then coming back again. This is one possibility with the SPY. If we look at it on the 1 hour chart, let's see. It broke, it didn't break the pattern yet. Maybe so on. This is the establishment of the price. Buyers coming for the 550. You can see the big volume there. Try to push, but there is still strong support, resistance, sorry guys. So it probably try to touch it, spike it up. If you want to make a clear run for the upside, maybe break and close above the 580. So this is it, guys. You can see the 50 is bearish, the 200, let's find that it's still going straight, a little bit facing down, which is not that good. Any push for the upside will bring the sellers. You got a key area, so let's move on for the Qs. Qs probably the same, nothing much to say about it. You can see it here. The 485 was my end target for the last prediction from the second from here, and it make another push for the 476. So let's say if it can hit the 460 at the moment, you can see again more divergence for the downside for continuation. So nothing much to say. Any push for the upside would bring the sellers. This is it, IWM. I know some people, some great analysts told that it's going to push for the 300. Not yet, guys. You see what happened there. It broke the pattern here, and you can see the big candle. When it broke, immediately push for the downside. Again, wait for it. Any move for the upside with great divergence. This is going to be a short prediction. Just a sec. Yes, sorry. So for, let's say, for the IWM, let me check something. It started to build up a strength. If I want to make sure, I want to see it above the 204. If it managed to push above the 204 and close above it, it can push higher. But it needs a lot of strength to push above the 206.40, which is where it is here. It needs to push strong above this. But again, I'm afraid that any push for the upside, the buyer will create a very visible divergence for the short continuation, which the short seller will try to attempt for a final push. Can it make for the 187? It depends of how much bar will attempt to push it higher. And already see, this is what I'm worried about. This is here. You can see the cross of the 50 with the 200. This is a red flag. This is how you call it, a dead cross. When the 50 cross below the 200, it's a very bearish sign, which usually there is a final attempt to reach it and then go for the downside. This can make the push further for the downside. As I told you several times with my prediction, follow the IWM and the Qs. They will make the prediction for the move for the downside. So at the moment in the short term, there is probably going to be a second push for the downside. I don't know if it can push spike higher and then push here. And we have to examine how the buyers are holding the 200 and these low prices. At the moment, I'm not that. Let me check it here. You can see they didn't manage to push here and already create divergence, so I could see it push another push for a leg for the downside. And I don't like it, guys. You can see it how it looks with the Qs. Further away, you can see it here. So it needs few more days to push for the downside, so I don't like it. So let's move for Tesla. So far I'm still with the bearish with Tesla. It touched our key area here. It was the 223, I think. I didn't manage it will do so, but we saw this bearish candle from here. And then we saw it's a good sign for, I called it for bearish, and see what happens. I think we already can move it. And it touched the key area again, not a good sign, because if it's established the price here, it will push the average for the downside, and then it can touch and can give a sign for the computer to sell, sell, sell. So this is not a good sign. If we look at it, how it looks on the weekly, this is a nice candle. You can see the buyers stepping in, big volume, they coming in from this price action, which is good. And of course with some sort of divergence. So Tesla like to put a spike deeper, but it doesn't look good so far. On the weekly, the 50 started to base down, so be very careful with it. Let's go back for the daily. If we look at it on the 4-hour chart, again, momentum started to be positive, but it is short continuation, so it's going to take some time. There is no divergence yet there, so I want to wait for it and see how the buyer holding the. I need to be. This is our daily lines, intraday. Sorry, so I need to erase some of them. But so far here, it can touch again the 225 to 60, push for the downside, and then we see how the buyers are holding it. Still divergence for the downside, guys. Apple, probably all the market do the same. Yes, Apple, the 200 became negative, not that good. No divergence. If we look at it on the weekly, how it looks, it's the buyers came here, which is nice, but again, doesn't look that good. Some nice volume, but not good win-loss ratio, so the buyers will wait a little bit. If we look at it here, how it looks, you can see it here. No divergence, so it means continuation. It can do the push for the upside. You can see the volume at the end of the session. So let's wait for it. And Nvidia managed to broke on the 60-minute, but see what happened with the buyers. Look at it on the week. This is on the monthly. Sorry, see it on the monthly. Rejection, 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 rejection. Now rejection from the downside, so it could mean continuation a little bit further for the downside. If we look at it on the daily, see the push here back again. 200, not that good, became a little bit negative, so it's going to be a sign for a sideways for a few more days. If we look at it up, the positive, positive, positive. Didn't broke, so it's gonna be very hard for it to break the 50, break the 125. It needs a good push in order to break it. But in any case, it will make a drop for the downside. Maybe for a retest. If we see the buyers stepping in here in the 150 again, because they established price here, established price here. If it push for the upside, wait, see if the buyers manage to hold it on the 115 and then push it back up for the upside. Meta was a fantastic. See what it did. Made it drop with all the others. Broke the divergence. This is what I don't like. They broke the divergence, which means a continuation. I didn't like it, so be very careful because the market seems very bearishy. So even if it will push for the upside and you're gonna see maybe 1 week of green, be very careful with it. So far in the 4-hour chart, what we see, we are very bearishy. Momentum start to try to be positive with all the market, so this could be just a pullback from the downside. Be very careful with it. What we see here, no divergence. Yes, sorry, divergence there. Let me check it to be positive. 94.60. No divergence yet. Yeah. no divergence. So if it push higher, it immediately push. This is what I want to see with the market, with S&P and Q. So the price move high, but stop before the divergence. Because if it will push higher, immediately the computer will sell and push it lower. So because it didn't touch a key area, if it push now for the downside, create more power, and then it will be able to push for the upside. This is good meta. Maybe I need to follow you to give me a sign of what will happen with the market. Gonna be nice. BA. I don't think nothing much. Push with the market, push up again, touching a key area, no divergence. Could continue a little bit higher there, and then push for the downside. Yeah, it touched the key area here and stopped. You can see it here. Momentum start to be positive. There is no divergence, so it means continuation for the downside in the longer term. So watch it closely. I don't know if it can make a V shape yet. I don't see the power, so could be interesting. Let's go for the gold. I think the gold hit the 300, which is amazing, which was my final prediction move. And from there, 3,500. And so far, I think it did. The gold very strong, nothing much to say about it. Very positive from here and here. Momentum is positive, so just mean continuation. I don't see any key. You can see the big volume coming in at the end of the session, which is interesting. Maybe big sell because it touched the key level. But yeah, still positive about it, even though it's on the all-time high. I'm still positive about it. Silver the same, nice push from the silver perspective, following the gold, so can push for the 40 again. Nothing much to say about it. Still positive. Yep. Oxy, the oil. Sideways, try to push it here and then push back. This is establishment of price, which is good. No divergence, so be very careful for continuation for the downside. I don't know if it wants to reach for the 42.20, which is not that good for the market. So nothing much, because this is a sideways move from the downside perspective. No divergence yet, so any push for the upside will create divergence, which push it lower. So it seems that the buyers wants to be strong. So I will wait for a second push for the downside, establishment of a price, and then push for the upside. So guys, let's sum it up. Follow the IWM because it's I think it has the golden cross, not golden, the death cross. Sorry. I'm glad to be here. And it could be a red flag for the market. 50 in all stocks are negative, facing down. The 200 facing straight, which means sideways move. Any move for the upside will bring more. The sellers will create divergence. So I want to see before the move for the upside that the buyers are holding the prices, not pushing just for the upside again, and make a second push, small push for the down, and then move it for the upside. So something like this, and make a new high, and then try to make a break for the all-time high. So this can take time, guys. Could it be a V shape? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't see the pattern of a V shape because it broke all divergence. So it means that we are entering a downtrend time frame now. So this is why I'm a little bit negative. You saw the lines I wrote with the Qs, Tesla and the SPYs, IWM. I think it's gonna hit them soon. Maybe it can take 2 weeks, like with the 574. It took a little bit of a month, not months, 3 weeks to touch it. So this is it, guys. I'm a little bit bearish. Sorry, guys. Is it a time for accumulation? For me, maybe in a small size, because I think it's gonna have more for the downside, and then I will rethink my positions again. So this is it, guys. Hope you like it. Hope you follow. Leave some comments if you want to make a discussion. So thank you, guys. Bye bye.